Picture this. The sun is shining, the pool is calling, and you've packed the ultimate summer tote bag. You've got the towels, the snacks, the cute little swimsuits. But the second you step outside with your toddler, the relaxation vanishes, and the sheer panic of parenting in the summer sets in.
Oh, absolutely. The alligator wrestling match to put on sunscreen, the constant low-grade anxiety of them being near the water, the worrying if they're too hot. Summer with a toddler is basically an extreme sport.
It really is. Welcome to the Rising Parent Podcast, where we help you navigate the chaos of parenting with confidence. I'm Tim.
And I'm Edna.
And before we dive into today's episode, which is all about toddler summer safety, we want to remind you that we drop brand new episodes of the Rising Parent Podcast every Monday and Friday. So whether you're commuting, doing the dishes, or hiding in the pantry with a handful of chocolate chips, we've got you covered twice a week.
We've all been in that pantry, right? Today, we are talking about keeping your youngest family member safe when the temperatures rise. We're covering water safety for toddlers, the best sunscreen for babies, and toddler summer heat safety. Because honestly, the rules have changed since we were kids, and it can be so overwhelming.
It's incredibly overwhelming, but that's why we're here. Let's take a deep breath, grab your iced coffee, and get into it. All right, Edna, let's start with the big one, the one that keeps every parent up at night, water safety.
Yeah, this is the heavy hitter. With our parenting coaching clients, the fear of drowning is probably the #1 summer anxiety parents bring to us, especially in those early sleep-deprived months when you're just trying to keep a baby alive. The thought of adding a pool to the mix is terrifying.
Exactly, and there is so much misinformation out there. I want to talk about flotation devices first because, oh man, the puddle jumper debate is real.
Oh, the puddle jumpers. Parents love them because they look cute and they keep the child upright, but they can actually be quite dangerous, right?
Right. So for anyone listening who doesn't know, a puddle jumper is that flotation device that goes across the chest and on the arms. And look, we get it. We worked with a coaching client recently. Let's call her Sarah. Sarah is a phenomenal mom, highly attentive, and she brought a puddle jumper to our session and said, "Tim, this is Coast Guard approved. Why are the swim instructors telling me to throw it away?"
And what did you tell her? Because that's a very common question. They do say U.S. Coast Guard approved on the box.
They do, but here's the behavioral breakdown, which is what I always look at. When a toddler wears a puddle jumper, it forces their body into a vertical, upright position in the water. It teaches their muscle memory that if they jump into the water, they will automatically pop up and float vertically.
Right, and that's a false sense of security.
Exactly. If that toddler sneaks out to the pool without the puddle jumper on and falls in, their muscle memory tells them, "I'm going to pop up." They don't know how to float on their back. They don't know how to tread water horizontally. Their brain has been tricked by the device.
That is so scary when you think about it. At the daycare, we used to see parents bringing their toddlers in after the weekend, and they'd tell us how much the kids swam all weekend. But what they really meant was the kids bobbed around in puddle jumpers. We always had to gently remind them that while it's fun, it's not swimming.
Right, it's water play, but it's not water safety. So what is the standard? If you are on a boat or in open water, you need a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket that is fitted properly. It should have the strap that goes between the legs, especially for infants and toddlers, so the vest doesn't ride up over their face.
And for pool safety for kids, the best flotation device is honestly a vigilant adult, which brings us to one of my favorite strategies we recommend to our families, the water watcher.
Yes, explain the water watcher because this is a game changer for summer barbecues.
Okay, so picture this. You're at a neighborhood block party or a family barbecue. There are 10 adults standing around the pool, right? Everyone is chatting, eating potato salad, having a great time. And because there are 10 adults, everyone assumes someone is watching the kids in the pool.
The bystander effect.
Exactly. Oh, Uncle Bob is over there. He's looking, but Uncle Bob is checking his phone. So we tell our families to use a water watcher lanyard. You can buy them online or honestly just use a bright necklace or a silly hat. The rule is whoever is wearing the lanyard is the designated water watcher.
I love this. It's so concrete.
It is. And the water watcher cannot look at their phone. They cannot go to the bathroom. They cannot grill burgers. Their only job is to watch the water. If they need a break, they have to physically hand the lanyard to another adult and say, "You are the water watcher now."
We had a couple we were coaching. Let's call them Mark and Dave. They have twin toddlers, and they were terrified of hosting their annual 4th of July pool party. We instituted the lanyard rule for them. Dave told me later, "Tim, it completely took the anxiety away, because instead of both of them frantically scanning the pool all day and missing the party, they did 15-minute shifts with the lanyard. It was a clear behavioral boundary for the adults."
That's beautiful, and it works. You know, water safety for toddlers isn't just about the pool either. It's the beach, the lake, even the bathtub. Toddlers can drown in less than 2 inches of water. It's silent and it's fast.
Yeah, that's a heavy reality. It's not like the movies with the splashing and yelling. It's silent, which is why the water watcher is non-negotiable.
Absolutely. And before we move off water safety, we should quickly touch on dry drowning and secondary drowning. I feel like every summer an article goes viral on Facebook and terrifies parents.
Oh, the viral panic, yes. Let's clarify this. Dry drowning and secondary drowning aren't actually official medical terms anymore, but the concept refers to complications after a child has had a submersion incident. Basically, if your toddler goes under and swallows or inhales a significant amount of water, you need to watch them closely for the next 24 hours.
Right. Watch for excessive coughing, extreme fatigue, or trouble breathing. If you see those, head to the ER or urgent care. But don't let the internet convince you that your child choking on a sip from their sippy cup is going to lead to dry drowning, right?
Exactly. Context matters. If they had a real scare in the pool, be vigilant. But if they just splashed their face, breathe, parents. You're doing fine.
Breathe. Okay, so we've survived the pool. Now we have to survive the sun.
Ah, the sunscreen battle. The ultimate test of a parent's patience.
It really is. I mean, applying sunscreen to a toddler is like trying to ice a hot, angry cupcake that is actively trying to run away from you.
That is the most accurate description I've ever heard. It's a total behavioral meltdown waiting to happen. The toddler wants autonomy, they hate being restrained, the lotion is cold. It's a sensory nightmare for them.
It really is, especially for babies and toddlers with sensory sensitivities. At the daycare, we used to have a whole routine for this. I remember one little boy, let's call him Leo. Leo would scream bloody murder the second he saw the sunscreen bottle. It was traumatic for everyone involved.
So what was the workaround? Because parents listening are probably nodding their heads right now.
Makeup brushes.
Yes, the viral makeup brush hack.
It's the best. We had Leo's mom bring in a brand new soft foundation brush. We'd squirt the sunscreen onto the brush, and suddenly it wasn't a scary lotion attack anymore. It was painting. We'd say, "Leo, do you want me to paint a tiger nose on you? Let's paint your arms." It gave him a sense of play.
That is brilliant because it changes the narrative. From a behavioral perspective, you're removing the power struggle. You're offering a novel sensory experience, a soft brush instead of cold, sticky hands. We recommend this to our coaching clients all the time.
And what about the type of sunscreen? Because the aisles at the pharmacy are just an explosion of SPF 50, SPF 100, spray, lotion, sport. What is the best sunscreen for babies?
Okay, so let's break this down. There are 2 main types of sunscreen, chemical and mineral. Chemical sunscreens absorb into the skin and act like a sponge, absorbing the UV rays. Mineral sunscreens sit on top of the skin and act like a shield, reflecting the rays.
And for the really little ones, we always want to lean toward mineral, right?
100%. Mineral sunscreens, the ones where the active ingredients are zinc oxide or titanium dioxide, are the gold standard for babies and toddlers. Their skin is so thin and absorbent, we want the shield, not the sponge. Plus, mineral sunscreens are effective immediately. You don't have to wait that 20 minutes before getting in the pool like you do with chemical ones.
Which is huge because telling a toddler to stand still for 20 minutes while staring at a swimming pool is basically torture.
It's impossible. Now, the downside to mineral sunscreen is that it can leave that white, chalky cast on the skin. It's thick, it's hard to rub in.
Which makes the makeup brush trick even more helpful. But if the sunscreen battle is just too much, we always tell parents rely on UPF clothing. Long-sleeve rash guards are lifesavers.
Oh, completely. If they're wearing a long-sleeved rash guard and a wide-brimmed bucket hat, you only really have to sunscreen their face, hands, and the back of their legs. You are cutting the battle down by 70%.
I remember we worked with a family, let's call them the Jacksons. They had a fair-skinned little girl who hated sunscreen. They invested in a couple of full-body UPF swimsuits. It looked like a little surfer wetsuit, and the mom was like, "Edna, this gave me my sanity back." I just slather her cheeks, and we are out the door.
Yes, work smarter, not harder. And a quick reminder on reapplication, because parents always forget this. If you're at the pool or the beach, you have to reapply every 2 hours or immediately after they towel off.
Oh, the towel off. That's the tricky part. You think, I just put it on an hour ago, but then you vigorously rub them dry with a towel. You just wiped all the protection off.
Exactly, especially with mineral sunscreen because it sits on top of the skin. If you wipe the skin, you wipe the shield.
Okay, so we've got the rash guards, we've got the zinc oxide, we've got our makeup brushes. Let's move on to the third piece of this summer safety puzzle, toddler summer heat safety, because the heat can sneak up on you faster than a sunburn.
It really can, and toddlers physically cannot regulate their body temperature the way adults can. They don't sweat as efficiently. They heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults do.
Wow, 3 to 5 times faster? That is a wild statistic.
It is, and it's why we have to be hyper-vigilant. I want to start with a mistake that is so incredibly common, and it comes from a place of pure love and good intentions. Edna, I know you know what I'm going to say.
The blanket over the stroller.
The blanket over the stroller.
Yes. Oh my goodness. We saw this at the daycare all the time during drop-off or pickup. A mom or dad is walking to the center. It's 90 degrees out. The baby is napping in the stroller, and the parent drapes a light muslin blanket over the car seat or stroller to keep the sun out of the baby's eyes.
It makes logical sense. You want to protect them from the UV rays. You want them to sleep. But what is actually happening inside that stroller?
You are creating a greenhouse. Even with a thin, breathable muslin blanket, the temperature inside that stroller can skyrocket by 15 or 20 degrees in just a few minutes. There's no airflow. It is incredibly dangerous and a huge risk for heat exhaustion or heat stroke.
Right. Instead of a blanket, you want to use a stroller fan that clips onto the side to keep the air moving, and use the stroller's built-in canopy, but leave the back or sides open for cross-ventilation.
Yes, cross-ventilation is key. And if you are out at the park or the zoo, you need to know the signs of heat exhaustion in toddlers, because they aren't going to turn to you and say, "Excuse me, mother, I feel a bit dehydrated and my core temperature is elevating."
If only. No, they're going to communicate through behavior. And usually it looks like a massive tantrum or the complete opposite, extreme lethargy.
Let's break down the physical signs. What are we looking for?
Okay, signs of heat exhaustion: heavy sweating, paleness, muscle cramps, tiredness, weakness, dizziness. And for toddlers, you really want to watch their skin. If they are suddenly bright red, hot, and dry, meaning they have stopped sweating, that is a medical emergency. That is heat stroke.
And what about hydration? Because we all know how hard it is to get a toddler to drink water when they are busy playing.
It's a battle. But if a toddler is crying and there are no tears, or their diaper has been dry for more than 3 hours, they are dehydrated.
We had a coaching client last summer. Let's call him Baby Lucas. He was 18 months old and flat out refused his water cup at the park. His parents were so stressed, they were literally following him around the playground, begging him to take a sip.
Oh, the power struggle. It never works.
Never. So we told them, eat your water.
Eat your water. Yes, explain that.
Toddlers love snacks. If they won't drink water, give them high water content foods. Watermelon is a lifesaver in the summer. Cucumbers, strawberries, oranges. Or make it fun. Freeze watered down fruit juice into popsicles. To a toddler, a popsicle is a treat. To a parent, a popsicle is hydration.
That's a perfect reframe. It takes the pressure off. And honestly, another huge part of heat safety is just timing your day right. When the sun is at its peak, usually between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., that is the time to be inside.
The sacred midday hours.
Yes. Do the playground at 8 a.m. Go to the pool at 4:30 p.m. Use those peak heat hours for indoor activities, reading, napping, or setting up a little water table in a shaded garage. You don't have to prove your summer stamina by baking in the sun at noon.
Oh, I love that. You don't have to prove your summer stamina. That's a word for somebody listening right now. Give yourself permission to retreat to the air conditioning. Those early years are tough enough. You don't need to add a sunburned, overheated toddler to your plate just for the sake of a fun summer day.
Absolutely. Okay, this has been a lot of fantastic information. Let's do a quick recap for our listeners who might be mentally organizing their pool bags right now. Edna, what are our key takeaways?
All right, key takeaways. Number 1, water safety. Ditch the puddle jumpers if you want to teach real swimming muscle memory. Make sure your life jackets are U.S. Coast Guard approved, and always, always designate a water watcher with a physical lanyard or hat.
Spot on. Number 2, sun safety. Go for mineral sunscreens with zinc oxide for the babies. Use the makeup brush hack to stop the sunscreen wrestling match. And when in doubt, cover them up with UPF rash guards. Work smarter, not harder.
Yes, and number 3, heat prevention. Toddlers heat up 3 to 5 times faster than adults. Never cover a stroller with a blanket, use a fan instead. Watch for signs of heat exhaustion like lethargy or no tears, and if they won't drink their water, let them eat their water with watermelon or popsicles.
Boom! Summer safety decoded. You guys have got this. We know it feels like a lot to manage, but you are doing an amazing job keeping those little ones safe and happy.
You really are. And remember, parenting is a learned skill. You aren't supposed to magically know all the rules about UV rays and Coast Guard approvals. You learn as you go, and we are here to help you figure it out.
Exactly. Well, that wraps up today's deep dive on toddler summer safety.
We want to hear from you. If there's a topic you are struggling with, whether it's potty training, sibling rivalry, or sleep regressions, please reach out and request an episode topic, and we will make that episode just for you. Seriously, we love hearing your suggestions.
Yes, we do. You can submit your requests on our website at risingparent.org/podcast. And hey, if you found today's episode helpful, please hit that subscribe button on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It really helps the show.
And if you could leave us a 5-star review, we would be so incredibly grateful. It helps other parents find the support they need.
And as a quick reminder, new episodes of the Rising Parent podcast are released every Monday and Friday. So we'll be right back here with you in a few days.
Have a safe, wonderful week out there in the sunshine, everyone. Give yourselves some grace, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everyone.